They say that marriage marks the end of a beautiful love story, but I discovered through painful experience that saying I do is really only the sound of the starting pistol. If you stop putting in the effort, you don't simply lose the contest, you lose the partner who stands right beside you. My name is Yelena. At 26 years old, I was employed at a large marketing firm. My entire life revolved around one man. His name was Qley. He was 35, he owned the entire company. To everyone else, Qley seemed like a robot, a man who never paused from work, a man who never showed a smile. People talked about him behind his back. They claimed he had forgotten how to feel joy. They claimed achievement had hidden his emotions. I served as his personal assistant. That position often made me feel invisible, an invisible presence in a noisy space. For 6 months, I observed him from the sidelines. My anxiety stayed high, but deep down, I held a silent passion for my job, and even more dangerously, for the man who hardly noticed my existence. He would pass my workstation every single day, his gaze always fixed far into the distance. He never once glanced in my direction. Then arrived a Friday afternoon. That afternoon altered everything. The workplace had grown quiet. Only the gentle hum of the cooling system lingered. My monitor shone brightly as I completed the last document. Qley stepped out of his room, but he did not walk by me. He halted, he gazed at me, he genuinely gazed at me, and he murmured something straightforward, "Yelena, thank you." In that peaceful instant, my heart pounded so fiercely it felt like a caged bird inside my ribcage. That night, sleep escaped me. I convinced myself it was silly. He was a giant in the business world. I was the girl who arranged his schedule, but the heart is a determined force. Mine refused to accept logic. In the weeks that followed, something shifted. The icy barrier between us began to break. Qley started inquiring about my life beyond those glass walls. He recalled how I preferred my coffee. He offered me small, infrequent smiles. Those smiles felt like rays of light piercing a frozen sky. I noticed the isolation concealed within his weary eyes in the evenings, and it drew me nearer, I realized then. I was not merely drawn to him, I was profoundly, entirely in love with him, but that fresh optimism shattered on a chilly Monday morning. I entered Qley's office. There stood a woman. She appeared as if she had just left a fashion show in Paris. She was stunning. Her long black hair cascaded like smooth silk. Her red dress filled the space with strength. She stood very near to him. Her voice was gentle and hushed. She told him how deeply she had missed him. Her name was Seraphine. She was the shadow of his past. When Qley introduced us, Seraphine stared at me with icy eyes. Her tone overflowed with arrogance. She referred to me as merely the assistant. The days afterward dragged with quiet suffering. Seraphine became a frequent visitor at the office. She pulled Qley away for extended meals. He missed our scheduled sessions because of her. He remained quiet while she treated me like an object. Then came the instant that shattered me. I overheard them speaking inside his office. Seraphine pleaded with him for one more opportunity. She said they matched perfectly together. Qley replied with a soft, "Maybe you are correct." The ground seemed to shift under my feet. I rushed out of the building. Tears clouded my vision the whole journey home. I decided I could not remain. I prepared my letter of resignation. But when Monday arrived, Qley appeared like a man destroyed by his own decisions. That evening, after everyone had departed, he finally addressed me. He said Seraphine wanted to return to him. But then he shared a difficult reality. She did not love him. She loved the empire he had created. She loved the position he provided her. She had never truly noticed the person behind the desk. Then he turned toward me. He said I was the one who truly saw him. I understood his emotions. I looked after his feelings. He confessed he held deep, frightening emotions for me. But he worried about the imbalance of authority, a boss and his employee. It was risky. To safeguard what we might create, Qley took a courageous step. He transferred me to a different division. He granted me a major advancement, higher salary. He wanted us to stand on equal footing before we pursued romance. I agreed, and for the first time, we started seeing each other as equals. 8 months later, he was on one knee. 1 year after that, I became his wife. I was 28 years old. Moving from staff member to spouse introduced fresh challenges. The workplace rumors spread about me. They portrayed me as a smart woman who had strategized her moves. They did not grasp our connection. Qley was wonderful, faithful, gentle, reliable. But as months turned into years, a calm ease settled over our household. I worked diligently. I handled the home, and gradually I stopped paying attention to my appearance. I replaced elegant fabrics with loose, baggy tops. I stopped reaching for my cosmetics. Qley never voiced any complaint. He remained a true gentleman. He never compared me to the attractive women he encountered at work. Then someone new entered the picture, A new assistant named Lyra. She was youthful, she was energetic. She carried a strong presence around her. I observed that Caleb seemed more relaxed at the office. His smiles appeared more naturally. At home, he remained a devoted husband. But a small worry began to grow inside my thoughts. One afternoon, I stopped by the office without notice. I saw Lyra leaning across his desk. It was not their discussion that froze my heart. It was her footwear. They were tall, polished, and styled exactly like the ones Seraphine used to wear. In that painful moment, I understood. Caleb was a man of integrity. He was not disloyal. But he was still human. He reacted to attractiveness, to care, to a language I had stopped using. I felt unseen in my own relationship. In a moment of panic, I did something I never expected. I contacted Seraphine. She surprised me. She agreed to meet. Over coffee, I poured out my feelings. I shared my worries about Lyra. I shared my dimming energy. Seraphine, once my competitor, became something I never anticipated. A guide. She did not mock me. Instead, she offered me a tough reality. She explained that a man cherishes his wife for her spirit. But he also needs to feel drawn to her. She said marriage is not the end of affection. It is the battlefield where the true struggle starts. She told me a woman must look after herself, not only for her husband, but as evidence of her own value. For the next 3 months, I transformed. Seraphine directed me. She taught me the skill of how to carry myself. She demonstrated how the proper outfits can alter your inner strength. I renewed my clothing collection. I renewed my daily habits. I stopped wearing plain, formless outfits at home. I selected graceful dresses instead, dresses that made me feel strong, womanly, vibrant. I did not do this to rival Lyra. I did it to revive the woman Caleb had fallen for. The shift in Caleb was immediate. He started departing work sooner. He was drawn back to a home that felt vibrant once more. He would observe me as I moved around the kitchen. His eyes followed me with a warmth I had not witnessed in years. One Saturday morning, I stood next to the coffee machine. I wore a silk robe. He walked in, he paused, he simply stared. He told me he had forgotten how stunning I was. He told me how fortunate he felt. As he embraced me tightly, I understood something vital. He had never stopped loving me, but I had stopped showing up for our bond. My heart had alerted me before the flame could ignite. I learned something profound that day. Attractiveness is not about self-importance. It is about the dedication we offer to the things we value. Marriage requires a constant pursuit. You cannot halt the effort simply because you have the ring. To maintain a flame alive, you must keep adding fuel. I made a vow to myself that day. I would never feel unseen again. The most enchanting woman in my husband's world would always be the one waiting for him at home. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment.